All right, good afternoon, CARES users and administrators. Today's webinar, the topic will be how to use the CARES administrative portal. At the very end, we will do a question and answer session. So if you have questions during this next 15 minutes or so, feel free to ask the question in the question and answer session, and then we will address those at the end. So for many of you, this page looks familiar. This is the Healthcare Interactive home screen. This is where you can log into the training as well as your administrative portal. To log into your administrative portal, you're going to go up here to the very top. There's a My Account tab. When you click on that, there's going to be a place where you can log in with a username and password. And for today's purposes, I created just a sample account. But many of you will also recognize this page as well. If you don't, that's okay. That's the purpose of today's webinar, is to show you how to use this and what it looks like. This is a complete catalog purchase here, or account, where you're going to see multiple courses for staff to take. Some of you just have access to the basics course, which is this red course up here. Some of you have bundled basics with one of the CARES Plus courses, so you'll only have a couple of courses showing. All of the courses have the same features. You track and log the same way on all of them. As you can see, all of the options are the same. So over on the far left column here of the Dementia Basics course, you're going to see a View Receipts button. When you click on that, you'll be able to see all of the purchase information, the date you've purchased, the date you activated, date of expiration, and then also you can pull up a copy of your invoice if you ever need. To the right of that, there is a Renew button. You can renew year after year, the same product key. There won't be any lapse in the records. Staff can be in the middle of their training and just continue going if you renew before your expiration date is up. To the right of that is the status column. You can tell if your license is active or expired, and then the expiration date is right next to that. So you'll be able to see when you're getting ready to need to go ahead and renew your CARES license. The middle column is the product key. Now, a product key is the access code that staff will use to log into the training. So for example, this Dementia Basics product key is ZND56. Anyone who logs into that product key will get entered into the reports for this Dementia Basics license. You can always sign into your administrative portal to reference or look up any of your site's product keys. So as you can see down below here, you'll see all the product keys for the courses that you've purchased. The column to the right of that is the usage column. As you can see, only 3 people have logged in to this product key. To the right of that, now this is probably going to be the most used feature on your administrative portal. It's your user reports feature, where you can see all of your staff's training progress. When I click on View Report, it's going to bring me to a page where I have 2 options. I can view all of my staff's training progress in an online format, or I can download and export to a spreadsheet. So for number 1, to see all of it in an online format, you just scroll down and all of your staff's reports will be in alphabetical order. So as you can see, Casey Adams here has completed all 4 training modules, and I can click print certificate and I can print her training certificate. So for auditing purposes, they may ask for proof of completion. You can provide them with their certificate right there from your portal. You scroll down. Now you can see Jane Doe. She has started the training. She's completed module 1 and has just started module 2. Has not fully completed. She's only visited 2 out of 20 screens and has only been in module 2 for 3 minutes. And therefore she's going to get a red X by the module name to tell us that she has not completed Module 2. Once she fully completes Module 2, has visited all the screens, and has spent at least 40 minutes in the modules, she'll then receive a green check mark, and she can continue on to Module 3. And then you can scroll down again. We can see that John Smith has completed 3 modules, needs to complete 1 more module to fully complete the training. So you can't print training certificates, obviously, until somebody has fully completed. You can sort the data online below by all of these features here. You can show without archived users, with archived users, incomplete, most recent to log in. You click update report and it will sort however you want to see your data. And then under number 2 is you can download the tracking reports and view them into an Excel spreadsheet. So I find this feature to be a lot more efficient once a lot of people or employees have logged into your training key. So once you get up to 100 people or so, I find it easier to export into a spreadsheet. And essentially all it's doing is it's pulling all of the data in the online format and just dumping it into a spreadsheet. So therefore you can sort and delete and pull that data in this format as well. And that's it for the to view the user data. It's very user friendly, really easy to use. I encourage those of you who have not logged into your administrative portal and gone into your reports to do so. Click around and get familiar with that, because you'll be using that pretty frequently to view your user data. To the right of that is the group training option. We're not going to dive into how to use group training today. That's going to be for next month's webinar. But you can manage and add users who have attended the training in a group training session with this feature here. To the right of that, and last but not least, is the admin tools feature. As an administrator of the account, you have the ability to manage the data any way that you need. So if somebody has accidentally logged in twice, has created 2 user profiles, you can merge those users into one account. I'm not going to merge them here, but that is what that feature is for. You also have the ability to archive users. This feature is really useful for turnover. So if somebody is no longer employed at your location, you can go ahead and archive them from being visible in your reports. You will not fully delete the record because you still may need to pull that for auditing purposes, whether somebody is at your location or not. But you can simply hide them from showing up on your reports when you pull that under that user reports page that we were just in. And the last option in the user administration page is update user data. Pretty self-explanatory. If somebody accidentally spells their name wrong, you have the ability to change the spelling of their name by just highlighting the radio button, updating the spelling of their name, and clicking update, and then that will sync to your user reports and for each user's data. And that's that. So it is very user-friendly, very easy. We have recorded today's session as well. So if you would like to receive a copy of this recording for other people within your organization, feel free to contact us after this, and we are happy to send that out. If you need access to your username and password, if that's something you don't have access to, again, feel free to reach out to us after this webinar, and we are happy to look up your account credentials. And with that, I will open up the question and answer session. So if you have any questions, feel free to type that in under the question and answer session on your screen there. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions come through. Before we fully sign off here, I want to mention one thing. When you log into your administrative system, up at the top here, you're going to see some links. This first bulleted link is update your account information. If you are expecting a turnover in your administrator role, or if there's if your email is wrong, that's where you can go ahead and update that information here. We find it really helpful to add a secondary email address for communications, because every month you will receive notice to check your user tracking profile. You'll also get emails notifying you of when your license is getting ready to expire. This is also where receipts for purchases will be sent to. So we find it really helpful to add a secondary email, so that in case you leave, or someone within your organization who's handling staff training leaves, to kind of have a backup plan, or somebody who is also involved in anything to do with staff training, to add their email address here. And then save that, and that will be added to your account. Okay, I do see a question here. When you renew, do the product key numbers change? Good question. When you renew, you can keep the same product key year after year. However, this last year, from March 2019 to present, all previous CARES licenses needed to start on new product keys for a change in the certification process. So if you are a former customer, if you've been a customer for a few years, you've probably noticed that you needed to switch to new product keys. However, that will not be the case moving forward. Moving forward, you will be able to keep the same product key year after year. Good question. And Ben, again, it looks like you just renewed. Why don't you contact us after this webinar, so we can fully look into your account, and I can see whether you're one of those customers that needed to get started on new product keys or not. And are there any other questions? We're almost at that 15-minute mark. Oh, we've got one coming through. Okay. All right. Yeah, Ben will get in contact after the webinar to look into your personal account. I think that's it. If you have any questions about your administrative portal, again, or your login credentials, feel free to contact us after this. You can email us at support@hcinteractive.com. Our phone number is 952-928-7722. And I think with that, we will sign on. Thank you so much for joining. And we will be having our next webinar in February. It'll be the third Thursday of the month at 1 o'clock Central Time. Thank you again for joining. Bye-bye.